everyone, Neve here, and today I am going to go through my tarot / spiritual journal for the months of January and February. This is I actually made this. I bought the 6-ring thing in the middle. I don't know what it is, the 6-ring thing. I'm really good with words. But I bought this and then I made everything else. The binder itself is made out of chipboard and scrapbook paper that I glued on, and it's got pockets in the front and pockets in the back. I did this actually connected through screws. Just making sure I'm in frame here, but it connected through screws, but they like broke. So the only way I could, and I cannot find these same screws anywhere. I even bought a set that I thought had the correct screws in it, and it wasn't the correct screws. But anyway, so I have it tied in here with black hemp, and that's how it looks right here. It's less pretty because it was going to be the outside of the screws were going to be right here. So very nice looking, the bolts. So right now it's less than ideal looking, but maybe someday I'll find the correct screws, and there we go. Also, if you check this out, this is our new kitchen backsplash. It's going to go behind our stovetop, and I don't know if you can really see it because I have this on my art table here. Basically, I wasn't intending to use this as my background for this video, but I don't want to move this right now, so it's going to be the background for the video. So I started this journal as, really wanting to try to journal my tarot journey, or what tarot practice, I guess. I like the idea of doing a lot of the, the actual physical scrapbooking for things like this, but I don't have the time for that. So my other option was to just do it on the computer, type things up and make it pretty on the computer and then print it out on A5 paper. So that's what I ended up doing. And even still, that takes a long time. And I don't know how sustainable this is going to be, but I really am going to try to do this for the rest of the year. And the reason I'm doing 2 months, going through 2 months in this video is because I did hardly any readings and stuff during February because, quite frankly, it was, I feel like I spent that month finishing up the Pacific Northwest Tarot deep dive, and also spending a lot of that time typing this stuff up, and so it took a long time to do this, and I just don't know how well I'll be able to keep it up. I may have to do things like that because I did a lot of stuff in January, and then February I did some stuff, but like I felt like I was just catching up. I was still typing up all the things that I did in January and creating the things and printing them out, and it was very time consuming. And so I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do 1 month where I'm doing a lot, and then the next month is kind of catch up, and so I'll do a video like what I'm doing now. So anyway, so here's the cover page, 2022 Spiritual Journal. And one of the things I am going to do, because I didn't block off anything in this, I'm probably going to, when I edit this, blur out some sections that are private, I guess. But anyway, so the first few pages, I did not create this. I got this on Etsy, and these just important astrological dates and stuff. And I am going to go ahead and put that the link to where I got these in the description. I'm gonna really try to remember to do that. And the copyright here is copyright jnp.co, and some sort of signature there, but I cannot read it right now. But anyway, so I will give a link to where I got these astrological print-offs. All right, so here we go. So the first reading that I have in here is the 2022 year ahead reading, which I did go ahead and I believe I filmed that and put it on my channel. And I did this before the new year. So this is actually before January. This was the Lenormand reading and some of the interpretations on that, and then the box 1 with the oracle card and the 3 tarot cards. Box 2, same thing. Box 3 and box 4. The oracle I used for this was the Hedwig's Oracle, I think. And then the tarot was the Book of Shadows So Below, which is one of my favorite decks, by the way. And then my Lenormand deck was the one that I created myself. All right, so, and I did like doing this, typing everything up and then printing it off, yada yada. I will say, though, that the pictures print darker than they are on the computer screen. So I don't know how to adjust that or fix that, but it is what it is. And then for the last page, I put a end of year reflection. I don't know if I'll actually fill this out, but it's there. And I did something like this at the end of each month. And end of January and end of February. But I didn't put anything in the reflections for end of January. One of the things I figured I might be able to do is just put stickers or something there, you know, things like that. All right, so the cover page for January, I went ahead and wrote all the astrological information. It's all the stuff that's in here that I kind of repeated here. If it occurs during this month, then I put it in here. And like this last one, the quadrantids, a meteor shower, this is 1 full year. So this is, I think, was it? I might have to take that back. I'm not sure. There was something that, node retrograde. That is 1 full year because it's January 1st, 2022 to January 1st, 2023. So that's going to be in each month here. All right, so this was my new moon Morrigan spread, which I just remembered this morning that yesterday was the new moon, and I didn't do my Morrigan spread for March, and so maybe I'll be able to do that today. My Morrigan spread may be late. I got a lot going on today though, so maybe tomorrow I will do my Morrigan spread, so it will be late, and I do apologize to Anne Morrigan. But anyway, so I'm probably hiding what's on this page, but how I do my Morrigan spread is the center card is the Oracle card, and that is from the Morrigan Oracle. And then I have 3 tarot cards here, here, and here, and they represent the message from Macha, message from Anne Morrigan, and message from Bive. And then I do 3 Ogham staves, Ogham pulls, and they represent land, sea, and sky. And then finally, the last 3 cards are the Lenormand spread, and it answers the question, how can I best honor you this month? All right, so now this was my first ancestor reading for this year. I'm going through the book Ancestral Tarot by Nancy Hendrickson, and so I'm kind of going through that little by little here, and I didn't do it at all in February. I really wanted to, I just hadn't gotten around to it, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do some more ancestor spreads in March. But yes, I have been really enjoying the ancestor work, and I'm trying to make each of the pages look similar to the purpose. So for the Morrigan spread, in February, I put a nice border around this, but it's basically white with the red lettering and plus a little bit of, I guess, purple. Yeah, that's kind of what I put in there. And then for the ancestor work, I'm just making it look very scrapbooky, very, yeah, like scrapbooky or vintage, I guess. And here was my second ancestral reading, the Ancestral Guide spread. And these two spreads are from the Ancestral Tarot book by Nancy Hendrickson. So yeah, I've really been enjoying doing the ancestral work. And the deck that I'm using for this is the the Relative Tarot. Yes, I got that for Christmas, Yule, and love that deck. It's been working great for ancestral work. So the next couple pages here are from the group Imbolc ritual, which was obviously early because Imbolc is in February, but we did a group Imbolc ritual online with the Irish Pagan School, and so I am blocking out the information here because, you know, if you want to, if you sign up for the Irish Pagan School and sign up for this particular class or session, it is recorded, so you can go ahead and do this yourself if you sign up with them. And yeah, I'm not associated with them in any way. I don't, you know, I'm not sponsored or anything. I just, that is the, I guess, school of thought, school of paganism that I am associating with now, or trying to follow myself here. So if you are interested in doing the Imbolc ritual, and they also have a Samhain ritual, and they did Samhain and Imbolc. They will be doing a Bealtaine and then Lunasa. And I'm trying to go to the live ones. I missed the live one for Samhain, so I'm just going to get the class from their site when Samhain comes around, and just watch the recording of it and do it that way. So, but I am going to try to make the lives for the Bealtaine and the Lunasa. So yeah. And then right after that was the full moon, because the ritual we did on the 16th, and then on the 17th was the full moon. So I did a full moon reading, and on the full moon readings, I do it for Bridget. So yeah, and with this one, I do an oracle. I call it. It's kind of a play on the Celtic Cross Tarot spread, which I really, you know, I've been really trying to find some history on the Celtic Cross Tarot spread, because I want to know why it's called the Celtic Cross. I want to know where it came from, and I am finding I'm having the hardest time finding any origin story or origin information on the Celtic Cross. And because, you know, I don't know where it came from or why it's called that, maybe because the cross in the card cross in the middle, maybe they're thinking of it like interweaving like Celtic knots, kind of like these. Maybe that's why it got its name, and it literally has nothing to do with anything Celtic. And, you know, Celtic is so broad of a term. I feel like it could mean anything really. Yeah, so but I wanted to, there's a, you know, a cross of sorts associated with Bridget, the Bridget's cross, and she's also associated with candles and flames and things like that. So I kind of adapted that, the typical Celtic cross, into the Bridget's cross and candle. And that's what I call this spread, which you're welcome to use. The center card is an oracle card. And by the way, you can use just tarot cards for all of these cards. Though there's just one question for these three Lenormand cards. So, but anyway, you can adapt it basically. So, the center card I have is an oracle card. This month I used the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle. And this represents the core of the month. And then the card below, I believe. Yes, the card below is the next one. So this one is, I used the Anima Mundi Tarot for the tarot this month. And this question was, how can I, or what can I offer Bridget this month? And then this one is, what should I leave behind this month? What should I embrace this month? And a message from Bridget. And then the Lenormand cards go like this. They don't go like this. They go from top to bottom. And this question was, so how can I best honor Bridget this month? And like in this one, I pulled the Scythe, Mice, and Lily, and I interpreted that as cutting out bad habits. So I can best honor Bridget this month by cutting out bad habits. And then the top, the flame part of the candle is the Ogham pole. And this is, I just have this as this month's flame. And yeah, there we go. All right. All right. So then here are my spreads for the Pacific Northwest Tarot Deep Dive. And I made all of the pages for this thing, for this the deep dive here, the same. So it's kind of got this slightly orangey, peachy background with this kind of Art Deco looking border around, and then I went with dark blue and kind of that peachy color as the accent colors. So yeah, so my deck interview, which you can see on my channel. See if I can turn the page here. And then I had the meditative journey, which I will block out because this was turned into a very private reading. Then I had the Redwood spread here, and the Cascadia spread. All of these you can find on my channel. Then the Royal Advice spread, which I also used the Seed and Sickle Oracle along with. And that was the end of January. And then I have this page for reflections. Maybe I'll just put stickers here, or I'll actually use this spot and put reflections. I don't know. All right, so then we're on February, and like I said, this is real short because I really didn't do much this month. I did my new moon and full moon and like one other reading, I think, something like that. And yeah, so I really spent February just catching up. So my new moon on Morrigan spread, this I added a moon border around, which I also continued for the full moon. And oh, and I don't know if you noticed, but all the Bridget stuff was in this like light purple background. I did like a light purple background for both the ritual and for the full moon reading. All right, so, and same sort of thing. I use the same cards, all the same decks for this spread. My Crow Tarot, I've dedicated that to On Morrigan, so I only use the Crow Tarot for Morrigan readings. I might use a different deck sometimes when I'm talking to On Morrigan, but that deck is specifically used for On Morrigan in my practice. All right, so then we have the deck interview follow-up spread and the month ahead reading. That was a Lenormand. I used the Pacific Northwest Tarot, the Seed and Sickle Oracle, and the Modern Sibyl Lenormand for that one. And both of those should be up or almost up on my channel. And finally, the last one is the full moon reading for Bridget. And this one, I went with just the cross part. I didn't do the candle for this one, so no Lenormand, no Ogham pull. It was just the center. Actually, I pulled two cards because these were pre-pulled. These were from the Heavenly Bodies astrology deck. And instead of pulling a random card, I pulled out the moon and what the moon was in. And I pulled those out and set them in the center. And then I pulled the four tarot cards. This month I used the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. And this, you know, what can I offer Bridget this month? What should I leave behind this month? What should I embrace this month? And a message from Bridget. And that is the end of February. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make a March page, and I am late on my new moon reading with On Morrigan because the new moon was yesterday. I completely forgot about it, and today is just too jam-packed. I'm not gonna be able to do the reading today, so I am really gonna make an effort to do my new moon reading for tomorrow. All right, so and that is the end so far. I will try to do these videos when I can. You know, when I'm really trying to do recording of spiritual practice, mostly tarot. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.